I do, and this is your business, and at some point down the road, maybe your full-time business, but you like me enjoy doing lots of different things. Right. So what did you have to do to become a professional and then start getting clients and that kind of?
The first thing I thought was, I was learning a lot on my own self-study, and I thought, well, let me go to a school and just get some formal training. So there was a place in Sedona, Bennett Stellar University, and this guy, Michael Bennett, and his wife were teaching Richard Bandler NLP. So I went for 10 days, and I had to learn. I had been studying for about 2 years before I went there, but I really wanted to get, the reason that I went there actually wasn't so much for the NLP. I wanted to get a certified hypnosis thing, something really truly legit too. Not anyone can,
go online and get the hour program and be done.
You can get the diploma factories.
Disclaimer: people need to be to vet their, the credentials of a person who they're working with. Practitioner.
Absolutely. A strategic intervention coach, someone who helps you with hypnosis or whatever. They're like a mechanic. It's like a car mechanic. It's like anything else. They need to know what they're doing, and because it's not all this mumbo jumbo mystical thing. Right. It is, but not really. It's language. It's understanding people's needs and helping them get to it. So it becomes natural. The new behaviors are naturally occurring. The new way of thinking is naturally occurring. So finding out what they specialize in, and have them tell you about what's in it for them. What do they enjoy about it?
Or get a referral, right? Like obviously if you know someone who is getting hypnotherapy or has gone through hypnosis or worked with someone, obviously, ask for referrals.
Get a referral, and or like nowadays with Google Business, ask your clients for reviews, and I've got a lot of really good reviews.
I think I still owe you a review. Do I still owe you a review?
This is a great review, by the way.
And let me give you one right now. So this is the perfect segue into my experience with Jerry the first time so I didn't go in. This was actually summer solstice 2019. And so I could feel some really big shifts happening within me and collectively. As the first episode of this podcast, I talked a lot about my clairvoyance and claircognizance and highly heightened intuitiveness and symbols, sign symbols, and synchronicities. I talked a lot about in episode number 3. And so I could feel another up-leveling, so to speak, was coming in, right? Like I was like, something's shifting, something's happening. I want to go deeper. And I'd read and studied a lot about ayahuasca and psilocybin and some of the journeys people go on with plant medicine. And I was like, I don't really feel like I need plant medicine. Like, I don't need to go down that road. I feel like I can access that because I already have accessed so much of that just on my own, going into meditation and that kind of state. And you and I'd had several conversations. We just kind of organically became friends working at the college and would see each other in meetings and be like, kindred spirit.
Oh, the first meeting, I'm not to cut you off. First meeting, I remember you walked into us, all those people, and you go like, I hope you guys are real the way that you're talking. I thought, that was a pretty great statement to make. Okay, so anyway, you were
yes. And so, I think it was after that first meeting, we were kind of like, hey, let's just meet and grab coffee and get to know who you are and what you're about. Yeah. So, so the first session, it wasn't like I went in kind of like what you were saying earlier, right? About a phobia or PTSD or a fear or even anxiety. I think I might have even had a sticky note, right? About I want to start tuning into my future self. I want to start tuning into my higher self, which I do have access to organically, but the version of me who is there. And I had this image I'd seen of this outfit that this woman was wearing. And I was like very drawn to this outfit. And I was like, I can see me wearing this outfit in a future setting where I'm doing some sort of either teaching or public speaking or something in a room full of people. And it just spoke to me. It was sort of that like next level or a couple of levels up from where I felt like I was. And I was like, I want to access this version of me. And we went in and you took me into the trance state, which I think I go into really quickly, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can probably put me under right now, but we won't go there. Night
Night
night.
night.
But there is a part of that exercise, and I'd been through a different kind of hypnotherapy session at another point where it's like you go and you bounce. What do? You bounce on the clouds. You fall through the clouds, something with clouds.
Yeah, I remember that, falling through the clouds.
Right? And I get so visual anyway, and it was like whoosh, I just instantly was like in the clouds, up through the clouds, into outer space. It was like I catapulted, like I jumped on a trampoline and just boing. I was in the cosmos, and I could feel the energy. I could feel source energy. I could feel the energy of all that is. And there's a woman who did a TED Talk, and she wrote a book. Her name is Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, and she actually had a stroke. She wrote a book called A Stroke of Insight. She's been on Oprah. I think it's like probably at least 10 to 15 years old at this point. But the way she described her experience when she was able to stay conscious during her stroke, and the left half of her brain and the right half of her brain kind of separated out. And she talked about connecting to the cosmos. She felt the energy of everything. She could see, she was still like looking around her home when she was having the stroke. She was like in her bathroom, and her arm fell against the wall, and she kind of could see the pixelization of her arms. Like it was almost like an acid trip. And that's sort of what it felt like.
Yep.
For me in that session. I was way far out. I think I got really emotional afterwards. Like I just felt so much joy and love and like every good positive emotion you could feel. It was very heightened for me. And I just got all this information in the session. And then for weeks after the session, I would like wake up in the middle of the night and grab my notes on my phone and like take notes. And I was getting all these downloads of information of basically like, you are divine source energy. We are connected. We are all connected. We are
Absolutely.
Connected to source. And so that's all helped expand my awareness of self, my awareness of the divine, my awareness of just our unique humanness, but that also we're a part of this greater, invisible, multi-dimensional, all of the things, right? All the things that Jerry and I talk about this stuff all the time. So I won't go all the way down that rabbit hole, but that is the level of expansion that I was able to go to inside. And that's why this is called the the Cosmix Innerspace podcast, because going within is the depths. Like it's infinite. It's like the infinite abyss within us, right? That is connected to all without all of the outside.
It's like the universe is inside of us, and we're
absolutely
out toward. It's not like, oh, I'm going to
get in a rocket and go fly to Mars, right?
No, it's like expanding out of us. It's fun. Not to hold really quickly. A guy came in on Monday. It's so funny. I asked him, I go, what have you found most useful about the time that we spent together so far? It's like 30 minutes. He goes, man, I feel like I'm on mushrooms right now. I go, I love it. I go, there we go.
Yes.
He goes, man, I'm talking to you. And he goes, man, at the psilocybin, whatever he called it.
Psilocybin. Yeah.
Psilocybin. He goes, man, I feel like the psilocybin's on. And he wasn't on anything. He came in for some serious stuff too.
Yeah.
People, little kids need to be left like little kids. And he had a very, very useful session. One session, it's amazing what's done in one session, a couple hours.
So the PTSD and the trauma healing and all of those things, hypnosis, if people have been unsuccessful with traditional talk therapy, which I am obviously a fan of, I almost became a therapist myself, coaching, there's different modalities for different times and different things that we're working through in our lives. And so for me, hypnosis was a very different experience than a lot of the clients that come to you for more of I don't even want to say transactional, but sometimes they come in for something specific where I was just coming in for general expansion and a tune-up.
And this is the other thing that a lot of people do come in for is like awareness. Mm-hmm. They've been, hey, I used to meditate. I can't meditate anymore. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Come on down.
Yeah.
Hey, I used to have this close relationship and I feel separated, spiritually. Perfect. The Kool-Aid ain't no Kool-Aid coming from me for what to believe and what you want to believe.
Right.
Just opening your faith and trusting within yourself and God and love and Jesus Christ, whatever your worship is, whatever your belief is, faith within ourselves.
Yeah.
I like to be useful like that too. And a lot of times people who do have trauma stuff, this is actually exactly, they just bounce right into this land of it's a higher frequency. It's a higher quality
Yes.
be fought. So
It's
I
almost
didn't
like
realize
it's
we
not
burned
like
so many out.
I know. So I want to shift to do that to get into the other final kind of thing.
Sorry
And
about
we'll
that.
put it. No, sorry. We could talk for hours. Um, yeah. So it's almost like you delete the file, but really it's they just move beyond it. Like they don't need to sit in the quicksand with it anymore and hold its hand. They heal. They heal and they move beyond it, and they're just instantly upgraded.
They have a different opinion about that idea. That's all that happened.
Mm-hmm.
They changed something in the resentment went away, and they have a different opinion towards it. They're not angry when they think about it. They're not afraid when they think about it.
But it's something that you're able to access. You're
Naturally.
able to access the subconscious mind when they're in the hypnosis session, which is something that you could do all the talk therapy you want, and you may never get there because it's just a different part of your brain that's accessing it, right?
And they're not asking the right questions, maybe
to get there, right? Because it's questions that you're asking. So with that all being said, this does bring us to since this is going to be airing in February, which I'm considering self-love month, but we have Valentine's Day, which is a very love-oriented kind of commercialized holiday. I asked Jerry if he would kind of talk us through this exercise that he and I have played with in sessions. And actually, we just had a conversation, I think, about this at one point when we were on a walk around campus or something. And he told me about it. And I got really emotional when he told me about this exercise. That's how powerful it is just hearing about it. So I wanted him to share this as something that we can do on our own, almost like a self-hypnosis technique, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's
get into it. Let's go. Perfect. Yeah.
So before we get started, pause this recording and make sure that you're in a comfortable position. You could be sitting in a chair, you could be laying down on a couch, it doesn't matter, on a bed, whatever you want. And this is a technique that was created by Robert McDonald back in the 1980s. And it allows us to appreciate ourselves, to be able to appreciate ourselves. It's so hard. I gotta love myself, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I get it. We're not going to try to figure that out. But we're going to learn a little bit about appreciation. So this technique I use with clients if they are, they feel like stuck a little bit, it's hard for them to get clear. So this is going to help them get clear. Mm-hmm. And so I want you to have a new experience as you listen to this, and enjoy and have one that meets your needs. Let this experience meet your needs and enjoy this experience. So I'm assuming you're nice and comfortable. And if you need to scratch your nose or anything like that, go ahead. All the sounds.
How did you know?
Yeah, exactly. All the sounds that you hear are going to focus you inward. All the feelings that you feel, they're going to focus you inward. All the thoughts that you have, they're going to focus you inward. So that whatever you hear being said, you can imagine it instantly and immediately. So I want you to think of someone living or dead that you know that they love you. Maybe you had a grandma, maybe you had a friend in school, in high school, wherever. Maybe a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, your kids, someone that you know loves you. I just want you to think about this person for a moment. Now, just notice who they are. And it's time to relax, boys and girls. It's time to breathe and let your body relax. Just breathe slowly and deeply. In fact, just imagine you have nostrils at the bottom of your feet and that you could breathe clean air up into your legs and into your body. Clean, fresh air, just right through those nostrils in the bottom of your feet. I know it sounds silly, but I'm going to talk to you about what it's like to really appreciate yourself as you are. I don't want you to go into a trance right now. So as you feel your body relaxing, just allow any tension that you may have to simply fade away with every breath, or right through the nostrils, however you want it to pass. Now, imagine you're sitting at a desk writing your autobiography. You might be using a pen or a pencil, computer. In some way, you find you are writing your autobiography, the story of your life. And you're quite comfortable about writing your autobiography. You can see the desk and the chair, and you may notice how the words that describe your life begin to gently occur to you. In any case,